Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen, all the participants of Tuanku Jakfar Conference 2021. So here we would like to present our research which entitled The Difference in Housing Arrangement Between Low and Medium Group in Malaysia. This research is authored by five authors. The first one is Dr. Masliza Muhammad. The second one is Rico Survival Ubaidi, which is me. And then the third one is Associate Professor Dr. Safinas Muhammad Hussein. The fourth one is Associate Professor Dr. Rahman Ismail. And the last one is Associate Professor Dr. Susana Muhammad Isa. So we hope that this discussion can giving an impact or broaden the low knowledge relating to housing arrangement between low and medium group in Malaysia. So without further ado, we start into the discussion. The first one, we're talking about the introduction. As we know that the United Nations estimates that the global population in 2030 will reach around 8.5 billion, and almost 60% of the population living in urban centers. As we know that the big population, they will be need a food, a security, also and housing. But recently, if we see the statistic, the housing needs not accompanied by the availability of affordable housings. But in the other side, also there is a lot of rising of property overhang. So the government through 11 Malaysian plan, they commit to improve the housing access to all the communities. But this year, the last year or recently, the COVID-19 pandemic is significantly impact on household income. And there are a number of poor household increase to around 930 in 2020. From last year is only 400, around 400 in 2019. So the study also tried to study the relationships of the triangle connection. The first one is the average income ability in Malaysia. The second one is the existing housing supply in Malaysia. And the last one is the concept of low medium cost housing that should be developed in Malaysia. And then we go to the next discussion. As we know that Malays, they are categorized into B40, M40, T20. But also from the Darsin Joshi, he also concludes that there will be the existence of B20, but we accept first because we focus to the B40, M40, and the T20. The B40 is they who income below RM 4,000, blah blah blah, and M40 is they who are income between around 4,000 until 10,000, and the T20 is they who are income excess to 10,000. So nowadays, Malaysian governments, they also offering and provide the 7 housing schemes on P40 and M40 groups. The first one is PSN My Home, Rent to Own Scheme, Residensi Wilayah, Rumah WIP, Rumah Selangorku, RSQ, Youth Transit Housing, Perumahan Rakyat Satu Malaysia, and Skim Perumahan Mampu Milik Swasta. But this offering program, they still a lot of various schemes, lot of various the participant, the target, etc. So, but they still hoping that this program could be leveraged on P40 and M40 groups. So if we talking about the challenge for the low and medium cost housing in Malaysia is the first one is the low household income, and also the high land cost, the construction cost, the compliance cost, and also mismatch between supply and demand, instability of the national economy, low home financing ability, and in comprehensive housing planning. And then the next one is we're talking about existing housing supply in Malaysia. The problem is there are growing housing demands, but it facing the rising housing prices, while we still saw a lot of property overhang also increasing. The challenge in Malaysia is there are high price, high monthly expenditure, inability to get housing and other financial commitment. This is a quote by Mariana et al. And also by Juliana et al. They also conclude that housing price, housing choice, and government initiative have a significant effect on housing affordability, because housing price is a dominant factor in influencing housing affordability. Uh, how to count, how to predict, how to define the affordable housing. The World Bank and United Nations, they also define that a house is deemed affordable if it's priced at least 3 times to the annual income of a household. And also household income inequality is still an obstacle in Malaysia in meeting the housing needs, because sufficient income, they will provide more opportunities to obtain affordable houses as an individual. And we go to the next discussion. This is the Malaysian House Price Index by the states. We still saw by the index in Kuala Lumpur is still too high. The existing housing supply, which is around 700 etc. And Selangor is 400 etc. Johor Bahru 300,000 extra, and so on. So this is even some states, they have a decrease of the price between 2019 to 2020, but it is still the high number. Yeah. And then we go to the next discussion. What we need is an equitable housing in Malaysia. But beside that, we know that housing industry has been an important driver of development and improvement of the country's economy. But the main issue is the imbalance between the current socio-economic achievement and housing supply. If we saw from the statistic also, if we saw the income household, and there are which are below RM 5,000, there are 35.6% in city or in urban, and also in rural a lot. Yeah, we can see that there is still income household that very low to afford and affordable houses. So this is the need that private developers usually to try and maximize yeah, the affordable housing. This is also the equitable housing in Malaysia that should be managed by the provider, the developer, or the government. Because if we saw the annual income in Kuala Lumpur, this is on the annual income in Kuala Lumpur is only 159,000 blah blah blah, and the affordable house price in Kuala Lumpur, it should be only around 477,000 blah blah blah. But the data now is Kuala Lumpur, the minimum price in Kuala Lumpur is around RM 100,000 blah blah blah. So this is still very high. And the result in discussion, because we only have 10-minute time, so the first one is a need for a constant state intervention in the provision and allocation of housing for low and middle income, a need for stable political condition, a need to create a housing finance system based on a needs, not supply, and a need to have a clear segment classification beyond the household income. So the first one, we should to define a low and middle group who already have or own land or house, but they unable to build or repair the house. The second one is low and middle group income who are able to buy a house, but the ability to pay the mortgage is still low. And the last one is low and middle group income who cannot afford to buy a house at all. So that's the main discussion or the main research of our research. So maybe this is the 10 minutes explanation of our research. So thank you so much for the attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.